Alrighty friends, good morning. It is Saturday, February 11th, my niece's birthday. Shout out to my niece. We are going to be working on the Village Green Puzzle Mystery Quilt, small clue number 1, but section 1B. I did 1A with everybody yesterday. Let me grab that, show it to you guys. 1A was yesterday. This fabric is gorgeous. My kiddo Lauren was correct in getting this one, or convincing me to get this one. Later today, I'll be working with Daffodil while I sew along with Stephanie's stitches. Today, this morning, is Dahlia. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first portion of section B is the dots, which is A, and the block of F, which is the floral fabric. I can't wait until we get fabric E, which is the owls. It's my favorite part of this line. So F and A, and we're sewing them on the top and on the side to make a triangle. So that's what I'm going to be doing. All right, let's go. Pop this over here. Here. So it's Saturday. What do you guys have planned for Saturday? I'm going to be doing that sew along later this evening at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Also, we'll probably be meeting my grandbaby adjacent. Friends of ours had a little girl, and I'll probably be meeting her today. So that's going to be super exciting because while I am super ready for grandbabies, I'm not ready for my children to have grandbabies. So having a grandbaby adjacent is very exciting. All right. Let's do this. And that. I feel like I might be a little well, we'll see. I feel like I'm a little scant on my 1/4 inch because, well, possibly. Yeah, I feel like I'm scant on my 1/4 inch right there, but we're gonna see. We'll see how it sews up when I sew the other side to it. I'm just gonna go ahead and, age-old adage, set my seam, give it magic juice, and then gently roll back the fabric. Got a plan in place to get the ability to be able to show both the sewing area and my ironing station, which is right here, without having to move the camera all over the place, or be able to move the camera smoothly, you know, depending on where I need to be. But I gotta figure that out. But there is a nice flat seam, and so next is this guy on this side. So let's put that there, get them lined up. And then I'm going to start on this side because it's pretty thick there. Well, I mean, relatively thicker than just 2 pieces because it's got the 3. Just to be sure. Oh, hold on a second. I'll get my leader going a little bit further back so it's not annoying me. And then let's see how we do. if you did not get to, yesterday I sewed up the clue section 1A, and that was fun. That was the first time I'd ever videotaped myself sewing any things together. My first ever video was talking about the acorn magic juice and how I use that in FPP, which is foundation paper piecing, which is sometimes scary to people, but once you are into it, it's an addiction. It is a lot of fun. All right, let's iron this back. But yeah, that was my first ever video talking about how I use the pen in FPP as well as regular, like traditional piecing like this. So I do it just a little bit differently with FPP since there's papers involved and you don't want them to get too wet and distort like the next section that you might be working on. So that was what that video was on. Yesterday was on Clue 1, Section 1A. And then today we'll be putting, I'm going to do Section 1B and then put it together. It's got a couple of sections like yesterday's 1A had one side of the finished block and done in like, let's see, 3, 6, done in 6 pieces, and then the second side of the finished block was done in 3 pieces. This one is has a few more pieces to it. Oh, y'all pray for me. There is a square and a square happening in the last step of piecing pieces together. I am notoriously not good with square and a square, but I think this looks pretty good. Nice and flat. So I'm going to pop this on the side over here to wait patiently for its next place. Then next up we're doing, oh, and each of these sections, so this is done 2 times, but I'm going to only show the 1 time so that I'm not having too long a video with yeah, with just watching me sew and sew and sew. So, but let's see, we want D down here and B, am I doing this right? Hold on a second. Let me think this through. B with the point to the point. So we want to go like this and then flip B down over D. Scratch the sides up there. Get it lined up, and then I think I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going from the, yeah, I think, there we go. All right, here we go. You know what, I'm going to see something, because I feel like that is super fat, and I know that I'm usually a scant 1/4 inch sewer, but that just seems super fat, and it is. Okay, so it's not me. All right, very good. Then I'm going to carry on and keep doing my 1/4 inch. All right, let's see. There we go. I moved the camera a little bit, so should not be too much jiggling today. Though I rewatched the video yesterday and there wasn't actually, I don't think enough to have been just completely dreadful. So that was good, but I was worried about the table moving too much. So I moved it. This is an L-shaped desk, so I moved it to the other side of the L. All right, now we're going to press this guy open, and then we're gonna sew to this one, the D and B, we're gonna sew the F and A to it. So let's set our seams not drop our iron on ourselves. Where did it say to sew these two? So we're going to sew it to fabric D. I mean sew it. I keep saying sew it to. We're going to iron it to fabric D. Oh, y'all just saw me do the wrong thing. All right, well, you know what? That's what happens when it's live. I sewed down the wrong side, so I've got to undo this bad boy. And that's what happens when you're not editing it so that you look super good all the time. You get to see when I'm a goof. But let's see. Nope. I'm not really good at this angle to show you, but I just gently slide my seam ripper. Oh, how gorgeous is this seam ripper? So it's a here we go, two-sided seam ripper, and you can put the pieces back in for storage so you're not hurting yourself. And it came with a matching wood press, which is gorgeous too. I got these from I don't know if you've heard of her before. Her name's Quilts. She is an absolute joy to watch on YouTube. She's another YouTuber that I admire very much. But that's where I got those from. So yeah, I did it on purpose so that you guys could see my beautiful seam ripper set. Yep. All right, just pulling the pieces of threads out. Make sure we don't have any right back here. All right. So let's do this again. Only this time, let's do it correctly. The rest of these fuzzies out of here. Do you guys really care if you have to break out Jack? Some people name their seam rippers, but I feel like Jack the Ripper. Makes me laugh. I'm all about true crime stuff, so it makes me giggle. I'm fine with Jack the Ripper. But do you guys get mad at yourself? Or how many times before you get mad at yourself having to pull out the seam ripper? Usually I like to be pretty, accurate, which is why I really like FPP, because that's really really allows you to be super accurate, because you can get really crisp sections because of the way that you sew those up. But I'll usually, if I have to, I'll rip it out a third time. Ooh, I'll rip it out a third time. But if it has to be, if it's not right after that sewing it the fourth time, it is the way nature intended, and it is staying that way forever and always in my quilt top. I'm not ripping out something a fourth time. Just not happening. But I don't generally pay too much attention to like how many mistakes I've made. I don't know. Just not too worried about the mistakes I've made, but I will say that if I notice that I'm making many mistakes, I know that it's because I'm tired and it's time to stop for the night. So that's my gauge if I've done too many things in a row incorrectly. And it's not just because I'm running my mouth, which, if you ask my friend Ingrid, happens many times. We get together Monday nights and sew together, watching either Piecing It Real, or I'm still working on my Juicy Juice minis, because again, I'm really bad at finishing anything. So I'm still working on those, and every Monday night. But if I'm talking too much, I'll end up sewing something wonky and I have to take it out. And oh, I use really, really small stitch length in FPP, and having to take those buggers out, oh, it's the worst. I mean, it's manageable, obviously, and the joy of washi tape to hold your pieces of paper together if you've had to rip stuff out makes it very easy. But there we go. There's D and B together. So, all right. So then D and B sitting in this orientation gets A and F sitting this way. And then we're going to sew them together across the long way to make, you know, I don't know, 5x5 block. But we're going to iron towards the 3-piece triangle. And I'm going to sew the 3-piece triangle with the 3-piece on top so that I can see this angle. I noticed on the replay I hadn't done that and miraculously ended up okay, but I'd like to be able to, as consistently as I can, do it with a piece that has the intersection I'm going to need to really worry about facing up, so I can see if I'm doing it correctly. All right, here we go. Going. Make sure we're good down here. Slow it down to walk it. Yep, there we go. Got that. Right at the intersection. And just hold it so it stays true. And there we go. All right, so I'm gonna iron this guy out, and then we'll do the last bit of section 1B, which is the square and the square. We're all gonna hold our breaths as I do that, because hopefully. All right, set the seams. Again, we're sewing to the square with the 2 triangles on it. So F and A is the 2 A's. We'll be sewing. I always say sewing. We'll be ironing towards that side. Gently roll it back. Iron towards F and A. All right, so I'm going to set a clapper on this guy, especially where the 4 pieces, where 5 pieces all meet, where it's a little bit bulky. I'm gonna slap that clapper down, and I'll show you the finished block when we're all set. And next I'm going to do block C with the remaining A triangles. I'm remembering to do right side up, right side up, right side up, right side up. There we go. All right. So now we're doing, ooh, I like this optical illusion. We're going to sew 1 triangle to well, we're just going to say this is the top. I mean, it's a square, it doesn't matter. This is the top and this is the bottom. So I'll sew it to the top and the bottom, press those out, and then sew the remaining sides together. So start here, and you'll see just kind of, you know, best guess domating. Have a little bit of the green square still showing. Trying to do the equal amount on both sides. And start this guy. Right. am, with everything I have to do today, super excited about all the things I've got going on today, especially the sew along later today. That's going to be so much fun. There's going to be like, well, so not everybody's going to want to be on Zoom, obviously. Not everybody's going to want to sew, because we're going to be on camera together on Zoom, sewing live on YouTube Live. So, and of course, you know, it may not work out where everybody can join us today, but there are over 50 of us that signed up to sew together for the clues today, along with Stephanie's stitches. And so theoretically over the course, it'll be 54, 55 of us sewing together, which I just think is incredible. It is mostly folks that have gone to Stephanie Stitch's retreats in the past year. So that's cool. That's kind of where this idea was marketed to folks that have gone on her retreats. But, you know, friends of friends are going to be joining through their friends saying, this is a really good idea. Come do this with us. So we'll get to meet some new friends too. And I was not able to go to, I think Stephanie had 4. There's Ohio, Washington, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. I think, I'm pretty sure 4. I went to 2. I was lucky enough to go to 2. So I met, I guess I met, you know, half of the folks that have gone. But it was, you know, open to everybody. So it'll be cool to meet new folks that have gone to Stephanie's retreats and their friends, and everybody sew together. I think is a unique experience for everybody. So I'm really looking forward to that. But to make a long story even longer, the point of all that was I'm also looking forward to Sunday. I'm going to lunch with my mom at a ramen place downtown. I live in Frederick, Maryland, and we have an incredible downtown with a lot of really good food. We are the hometown of the Voltaggio brothers. I don't know if anybody watches Top Chef. The brothers were, well, they were the top 2 competitors their season, and one brother won. I think Michael, I really should know this. I'm really bad. The LA brother won, and the other brother still lives in Frederick and has a couple of restaurants, which is really cool. But so I think Frederick had always kind of had a really good food scene. We've been really lucky with the foods that we have, but their exposure on Top Chef definitely like blew it up. Oh, that was my puppy Lilu, making it known that there's garbage men outside. So she does not like the garbage men at all. Doesn't really care as long as the postman doesn't come to the house. We are in a townhome, so there's like a, you know, a post box that he goes to. She doesn't really care about that. If he comes to the door to put something down, like a package or something, then she loses her mind. But other than that, it's just the garbage men. So she doesn't like the sound of the truck too. All right, so we've got these sides on and nice and flat, ironed out, looking pretty. I don't know, guys. I think cotton cuts may be the way to go for me, and a square because it looks really good so far. So fingers crossed that I didn't just, you know, jinx myself and the quilt gods are going to smite me for my audacity. But I think we look pretty good. All right, we're gonna do this. on this side. And there we go. But yeah, tomorrow is ramen. I'm really very excited about that. I love all kinds of foods. So I grew up right outside of DC, and I don't know that there was any kind of food that I wasn't exposed to at a young age. Got to give my parents props for always being willing to try something. Remember, I was 12, and I was the first person I'd ever known who tried sushi. My dad thought it was funny. I ended up liking it, but he thought it was funny. We were at a buffet at a Chinese restaurant, like a dim sum. Like, no, maybe it was a Chinese restaurant. Well, it might have been a dim. I'm not sure. Anyway, had me try tripe, which is intestine, but didn't tell me what it was because he wanted to see if I would like it first, and I liked it, and then he told me what it was. But it was so good that I didn't care. I was a little ooged out, but was still willing to finish it. So, but yeah, I love all kinds of Asian food and Middle Eastern food and African food. There's just not too much. And my dad grew up in Tennessee, so I have a deep love of good Southern food. Deep love. My dad's mom, my grandmother, my mama, as she's known, is the reason why I actually went to culinary school, because there is nothing better. I don't care how much you pay for it. I don't care how you bougie it up with caviar and foams of whatever. Nothing beats Mama's biscuits, buttermilk biscuits, with a slice of pork tenderloin in between. Oh, the memories that brings is, oh gosh, so good. So good. That would be like my last meal would be that, for sure. Do you guys have a really strong food memory? Food and music. People are always so strong. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm gonna get this in the right way. Memories surrounding food and music are so huge. You know, I'll hear a song and remember where I was and who I was with. I'll smell a food or eat some food and remember where I was and who I was with. I love those memories. Alright. Yeah, I think this block in the block is looking pretty good. I'll iron this out, and then this guy goes on to, it's going to go on this side, and the other block will go here. And I'll bring that block out. All right. Wow, this one went much faster. Well, this one went much faster because I'm just doing the one. I'm not going to do both. But I wanted to show section 1B and then show the two of them side by side. They don't get sewn together. We don't know where they're going to end up, hence the mystery part of it. We don't know where they'll end up in the final quilt top, but there we go. But yeah, I just did the one section so we could all see all of them, or both of them side by side. Okay. All right, so here is the finished with block F, triangles A, triangle B, and triangle D, and you'll see I'm a smidge off up here. That's close enough for me. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna go with that. And then we sew the C block with the A units on it. We sew it together to this side. So that's what I'm gonna do. And because the F block side, this guy doesn't have any points that I need to worry about, I'm gonna sew the C block on top, so I can watch for that point right there. And then this guy will be done, and then we'll just wait for month 2. There we go. Make sure we're lined up. Get slow here and make sure we're right at the crossroads of that. And we got that, I think, pretty good. Moment of truth coming up. Oh, sorry guys, I moved my camera to show the block. Let's go ahead and cut thread there. Cut off my leader. All right, let's see how I did. Let's see. Ooh, pretty. All right, and we are ironing towards B, which I think makes sense. I'm really happy about that because there's no bulk on that side. So again, we'll set our seams. We will put B on top so she's ready. Magic juice. Good. Gentle rollback, especially because I am introducing the magic juice and you know, the liquid, and it's on a bias seam, which is like the stretchiest piece because we've got the triangle. I want to make sure I'm being very gentle about rolling it back and pressing, not ironing, so that I don't introduce any like warpage. Okay. All right, I think we are looking good. Holy cow! Yay! All right, I'm gonna do this. Move this bad boy back so we can, who knows what that is. So this is section 1B with the C and D fabrics, which are unique to section 1B. So C and D were introduced here. And then for section 1A, we've got B, A, I'm looking at my, excuse me, my little cheat sheet. We got B, A, and F. So these are the two of them together. So exciting. All right. Well, fantastic. Thank you all. I'm going to call it a day. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as I put these together. Very happy with the square and the square. Go cotton cuts with having everything cut precisely and setting me up to have it end beautifully. I'm really excited about that. Super excited about my points. Gonna just call it good where that's just a smidge off. Not gonna worry about it, but I will acknowledge it. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not there. And then love these guys. Like, I got my points. I'm super excited. So yay. All right. Well, happy Saturday. If you guys have nothing else to do today and you're looking for some fun video watching, come on over at 5 Eastern time to Stephanie's Stitches. I'll have her linked down in the bottom. And watch us sew along live, and maybe say hi in the chat. That would be exciting. I would be happy to see you guys. All right, so there we go. Thanks, everybody.